Weil du so klingst awer normal. Wann beim Stream ass da bei Streamlabs Appes.
Keine Ahnung. Ich muss gucken. So. Oh
Weil du
shit.
so klingst awer normal.
Da ist am
Wann
Livestream.
beim Stream ass da bei Streamlabs Appes.
Oh, nee. Okay.
Wie? Mhm. Ja. Reageiert immer beim Motorblock.
I have some problems with my mic, so I need to fix that before we start. So the voice input is very low, so I don't even know if you can hear my voice. Yo, what's up, Nebu Kabnetsa? How are you doing? Is my voice clear for you on the other side? Because I think, yeah, that my voice is a little bit too low. How is it on your end? Because once I put the volume up, there are some cringy noises coming out of my mic, so I need to try to fix that. Let's see. Yo, what's up? Nice to see you here, my friend. Can you tell me if my voice is clear or not? Because I use my old mic that you love so much. But I don't have any other choice right now, so I'm trying to fix it. Nice to see you, so I can hear you, but you could put your mic down a bit. Ah, your music, okay. But it's at the low, so maybe I cannot really turn the volume down more than I already have. Maybe in my output device. Speakers. Is it better now? Normally it should be better. You can try to lower it. Yes. I lowered the speakers, actually the input device, output device. Is it good now? Great. Okay, that's perfect. Why now everybody sees all the windows? Lol. Here, tuck. Okay. Let's get back. So now it should be good then. Let's see. So I'm here to make some TA today, to have a little market overlook. I always start with Bitcoin, but if you have any suggestions or some coins or projects you want me to look over and making technical analyze for you, so you have a projection of what price could do in due course. Great, man, happy to see you here, my friend. So if you want, give me 2 or 3 coins so I can do some analysis on it. I don't know which coins you like, which you don't, so for me I can analyze every type of coin. It's always the same, so just give me some coins and we're gonna take a look at it. Oh yes. So this is a trade we are currently in Forex, Euro USD, Euro NZD, New Zealand dollar, in a short. So we are already break even. So in this trade we cannot lose any money. We can just make money or get stopped out at break even. So basically it's like we wouldn't have take some trade. But it's always better to not lose money. But if the trade reverses now, we have all these targets that can be met. So for now it's very important to break this low here and to not break the structure to the upside. If we break structure to the upside, in this particular case, we only have one single, let's say, a resistance zone that could hold us in the trade. For now it's looking great. It tried to sweep these highs here from that liquidity, but it couldn't and got rejected. So now we have here that order block that got respected. And now see, we need to see if we can break this low and this low. If those two lows are broken, I believe we will at least see a further dump to around, let's say, 175.10. If that happens, we already hit more than TP1. The goal is obviously coming down to the targets, but we have partial take profits that we are interested in taking some stakes out of the trade. So because we could maximize the potential of holding the trade until it reaches the take profit, but we learned that in these choppy markets we have since, let's say, September, sometimes the trade reverses very quick, and that's why we are approaching this in another way right now. So let's say once we cross this line here, we start to take 1/4 of the position out of the market. Okay, so this trade right now has a potential of making 3k, and to have this potential to make 3K, we needed to risk, in this case, $1,000. So we risked $1,000 to potentially make 3,000, which gives us a risk to reward of 3.13 or 3 exact. Let's say exactly a risk to reward of 3. So we can, in this particular trade, make 3 times more than we are actually willing to lose. Otherwise, the trade wouldn't even be interesting for us. But let's say the trade comes over here and it starts to reject and make break of structure to the upside. This is where we try to get out of the trade, to not get stopped out. So the first white line in this case is $1,000 profit. The second white line is 2K, and the target is 3K. So obviously the best case would be falling down, hitting the target. But this is when it comes to risk management and position management. Sometimes the market is not giving you what you are expecting. So you need to plan accordingly to not lose your whole position or gains you made for the day. So that is what's very, we have a choppy market, we have a lot of uncertainty. The dollar is not doing let's say people a favor, or the retail, because it's extremely volatile in certain moments, and even if you're right, it can just take you out and then continue the move. So for now it's not that easy to trade, but we are also now in December, so the markets are not as volatile anymore than the last 90 days, let's say. So the news are not that volatile as the last 90 days. So maybe we're gonna get some beautiful price action in the next, let's say, 20 days and capitalize on it for the end of the year. And then yeah, that's what I'm focusing on right now. And then next year, obviously going through the year, making big adjustments, making big leaps to getting better and making more profits. And the idea behind the stream is also, I don't know exactly how I'm gonna do it or if I'm gonna do it. You need to let me know, guys. But I had the idea to take you a little bit on our journey of passing challenging accounts with proper risk management, with like really the approach of institutional trading, because a lot of people pass challenges where they risk, for example, 3% the trade to make, let's say, 9% on a trade, or even in, let's say, 3 or 4 trades pass the challenge with 15%. But for me, this is not the approach. It's interesting, so you don't lose time for passing a challenge, but we want to approach this in the right manner directly, so we can just continue doing the same once the accounts, the real accounts, funding accounts, are hitting our meta traders. And for me personally, I am in trading, day trading, investing, crypto, and all that stuff related to it since, let's say, 2016. But I came back into trading full time, let's say, 8 months ago. I was humbled because of certain situations, and I started going for 6 months on a demo account. And yeah, now we are back. We have our first challenge ongoing, and here you can also see the process of losing and winning trades, and how let's say we will go through the ups and downs of this challenge, and how much money you can make if you do the same as we do, because today it's different. let's say when I started a few years ago, there were no prop firms, there were no funding companies. So all you put it in the market at that time was your proper capital. And everyone knows you can deposit $1,000 or $5,000 on a broker account, but the thing is when you have low liquidity or capital in a trading account, you need to basically risk a lot per trade to make something significant. So let's say you have even $5,000 in the market. To make 10%, it's a lot of effort, and it would be $500. So you put this a lot of effort into something that gives you at the end 500 bucks to potentially lose a third or 20% of these 5,000 euro. Okay, so today it's different. Today, if you have some money in your bank account, you have good prop firms that are regulated. I mean, you have pros and cons when it comes to regulated and unregulated brokers and prop firms. Unregulated brokers and prop firms have sometimes better conditions, but the downside to the whole thing is that you can make big profits and they don't pay you out, or they have some kind of restrictions um, you didn't read about, and this is how they wreck you basically. So we prefer to directly start with a regulated prop firm. I will not mention the name right now, but in due course we obviously gonna talk about it. But what I wanted to say is that it is extremely interesting for every kind of people that thought starting to day trade or to trade in general. We have now the opportunity for, let's say, $500 to get access to a challenge in which you need to do 15% gains. There is no time limit to it, but you can just risk 10% of the account. So let's say you open an account for $540, you will get access to $100,000 in a challenge account, which is a demo account. But this is just to have your verification process. It's like an exam in school. So if you pass it, the company, you are eligible to get funded by them. So that's the whole goal. So imagine you risk $500. Let's say you want to open a real account in trading, and you put in $10,000. So $500 from $10,000 is 5%. Okay, so basically, let's say you risk 1% per trade. You risk actually 5 trades to get potentially a 10 times bigger account than you personally could provide for yourself. So the risk to reward is extremely high. And for now, this prop firm thing is rising, and everybody is talking about it. Everybody is trying to get their, let's say, their piece of the pie. But the majority doesn't pass these challenges because they start trading, they do a demo account for 1 or 2 months, make some profit, go into this challenge and lose it all basically, because you can just risk 10% of what they give you. So even if you just take 1% risk per trade, you actually risk 10% in one trade of what you are able to lose until the challenge is done or lost. So once you lose the challenge, you basically just lose your $540 that you paid for the challenge. If you get it right in the challenge and you make these 15%, you are directly eligible, and you get an email from them giving you the new logins and your new account number. Plus they ask you if you want these $540 as a refund, because once you pass it, they give you your money back, or reuse it for a next challenge. So you can actually, once you pass the challenge and you get your account, you can repass the challenge and scale horizontally. So the idea is for them basically so that they can still have your 540 bucks and maybe you lose the second challenge. So it's also, you also need to know that if it was luck getting the first account, that there is maybe a problem when you pass the second challenge and maybe blow your live account. So you need to be careful about that. Don't let's say, don't be over enthusiastic and really take it as a job. So sorry, I didn't watch the chat. Nice to see you. OBS, perfect, yes. Please do Algorand. Okay, Algorand. On metagaming coins. Okay, how does payment work? If I pass the challenge and to trade and then trade the account, if I make profits, how much? How does it work? So let's say you pass the challenge and you get the funded account. You have like a deadline withdrawal limit from them between 30 and 60 days. So every 30 or 60 days, depending on what you choose, they will pay them out whatever profits you made. Let's say you make 5% in the first 60 days, okay? So on a 100k account, 5% would be 5,000 euro or $5,000. From these $5,000, you have a profit split of 20-80. So you can hold 80% of the profits, but 20% of your profits that you made are gonna go to the company. So let's say from these 5k that you made in profit in the first 60 days, you need to give them $1,000. So basically 4k of these 5% are for you in your pockets. Yo, what's up, my bro? Nice to see you here. So that's the profit split of 20-80. Then every, let's say, 30 or 60 days, they withdraw their profits. Even if you don't withdraw your profits because you want to build the account and have some buffer in case you have a bad month or something, they will always take their profits out. Always just these 20%. So that you need to be aware of, but other than that, the 80% of all profits are for you. This is how it works. So, but there is how much do they take? Pay it, yeah, 20% weekly, daily, or monthly, yeah. So as I said, 30 or 60 days, you can choose the plan, but obviously they don't want to lose money. So I believe even after you make like 15% on the real account, they trail the stock to 100k, so they can't lose any money anymore. So that's the idea. Check the chart of Big Time. Okay, I'm gonna do Algorand. And Kai asked for metaverse coin. So Big Time is a coin also in the metaverse space that launched a few days ago or a month ago. And Scott and I, he told me about that project this morning, so we're gonna go over that. So I would say I start with Algorand. Let's see. So Algorand had a difficult past, let's say it like that. For me personally, it was one of the great coins and projects out there that really dumped very hard. It got to the low of, or let's say to the all-time low, and took that liquidity out. So now we got a reversal back to the upside. We have a falling wedge or 80% breaking to the upside, which we did in this case. So now over, let's say a few months it's not possible to here regain these highs. Why? Because just seen as a pattern, 80% of the time when a falling or rising wedge breaks, the target is where it started. So this high is what you need to aim for. Obviously we have this 200 moving average, no, this is the 100 moving average coming down too, so this is most likely one of the levels you need to watch out for if you hold it since the beginning, because we can see our correction coming in these imbalance or liquidity sweeps here around that area to come back down and then pump to the level up. So how long it will take, we can just pump here up to that level too. So nobody knows that. I don't know the fundamental news catalysts for the last, let's say, 90 days. I didn't pay attention to that, but overall I believe it's a very good project, very legit people behind it. So on the short term, let's say 4-hour chart, yeah, we can see we struggled a long time to make this cup and handle. Then we reversed very quick in a liquidity sweep here on the trend line, and because we didn't broke that level again, it managed to break the highs. So now where we broke the highs, it doesn't really have a beautiful structure whatsoever, but let's say we hit at this 38 retracement level, which makes it, let's say, eligible for a further rise, which we are seeing right now. But the only thing I can do in this case is, yeah, the first target obviously is this imbalance. So here you need to watch out, because there is some kind of resistance coming in. Don't forget that people dollar cost average in that market for a long time. So maybe now where all this euphoria is with the pumping of these degen coins that make no sense whatsoever, you could see some sell pressure coming in at these levels just because people want to ape in some kind of pumping moves that have momentum right now. But yeah, let's say the best time to accumulate Algorand was in this time here. It's always when people don't want to buy or fear to buy, you need to buy. When people fear to sell, or when you feel bad to sell something, usually you need to sell it, because our brains work that way, that always when we get something we like, we want more, or we believe that it's gonna go higher, or that whatsoever, all these kind of things our brain gives us. So for now I would watch out for this imbalance between 19 and let's say 22 cents, and then we need to look what it is doing here. What is very important is to break this high here of 23.5. If we break this high, obviously we're gonna come to these highs here, which is also the target of the sequence. So this is my short-term prediction on where it will go in the next days. Other than that, we could see some type of correction back down to these levels here to gain some momentum to break it, because we need some strong momentum to break these 3-4 highs here. So, but I believe we are in the first third of the bull run, so all these coins that really underperformed or really got crushed to the lows of the lows, there is a day in time where they're gonna catch up. Not everyone, but eventually the good projects are gonna catch up, and you don't want to be focused on things that already did a 10x, because first of all, 90% of those projects makes no sense. And then, of course, it sounds great, it's a great project, but we have thousands and thousands of great projects. If me tomorrow I start a project, I will never promote it as an average project. So basically, everyone that is doing marketing or promotions for their project they want to launch or whatsoever, you will never hear something negative, obviously. So I tend more to try to understand why is something going up. I believe this pump here, you can go make research and know why now the momentum is starting to ramp. I had some rumors in, but I don't remember exactly what it was. So for now, I believe some friends of mine got in at around 20 cents. So yeah, it's great to see the price pump back again. And no doubt about this coin. This coin will perform great in the bull, I believe, because it's one of the coins that is needed for the system and not just to make money. So this is how I approach the projects. I don't want projects that are just there to make money. There are some projects I'm looking into because of that purpose, but the majority of my money is in coins where I understand the utility, where I understand the networks they have, because somewhere your network is your net worth. So I like to believe that if you are sitting in the right wombs, your longevity is already more sure than with these other projects. So I like to have certainty that something is here in the next 10 years, no matter the performance short term. So if you really want to make big money in the next, or let's say in crypto, don't try to make it in one cycle. Don't try to make it in the first third of the bull run. It's great if you did, but that's not the goal. If that's your goal, someday you're gonna make a mistake and lose the majority of what actually made you in a good position compared to other people. So don't over trade, don't over invest, and just try to understand the pumps behind something, so you never get caught in something that you don't understand, let's say it like that. So yeah, for Algorand, I'm happy to see this, and yeah, let's see if it can reclaim this resistance and even break the highs and break structure. So now we broke structure on the weekly. Here on the downside, we retested the wedge. So for now, I believe we could see further upside, and yeah, let's see where it wants to get its resistance and look from there. So the other coin was big time, I believe. Big time USDT. Where's the best chart? I don't know. It's even on Binance. That's weird. Okay. So big time. I just go quickly on Dex Screener because maybe big time. Liquidity 600k, fully diluted valuation 2.8 billion. Oh shit. So okay, without looking at the charts, I see that a lot of whales are waiting to dump their tokens, obviously. Nobody knows when this moment will come, obviously at the end of the bull run, but we have a big fully diluted valuation, which is the price times every coin that is existing, and the market cap is basically just the price times what is circulating. But there are $68 million in market cap, but there are only 668k in liquidity, and liquidity is what you'll need to look at. Market cap is just something you take as a measure to see is there even any potential. Depends even on the project, but you can't buy market caps. Okay, you can't buy market caps. Nobody buys market caps. This is just an illustration of what the fully diluted of everything that exists in this project, all the tokens combined together times the price. So let's say in this case here, only like 8 million would be 10%, 800k would be 1%, so it's not even 1% of the circulating supply that is lying in order books. Okay, so the order books are quite empty. Okay, this is why the price pumps that hard, because the market cap plays no, it has no real value in that case to pump a price. When I want to buy this, I need to buy a price. I need to buy a coin that another one is selling. So buyers and sellers have 670,000 liquidity in order books, and that's also the order flow. So you can only buy this. Let's say buy volume was 600k, sell volume was 7. So what's great is that the volume is higher than the liquidity, which means that these type of, like, let's say 1.3 million volume hitting the market, 640k hitting long, so we just have 660k in liquidity. This is why it pumps very hard. Okay, because if there's no liquidity, people buy prices and don't look for market cap. Because if here you look at market cap, you tell yourself, okay, but how does this project maybe one day wants to hit, I don't know, $10, $5, if the market cap is already a tenth of, let's say, the XRP cap? This is because the majority of the coins are not circulated or hodled in wallets or whatsoever, staked, used, and the only thing you can buy is this here. So with the liquidity, you can see how much money really needs to enter something to push it 100% to the upside. In this case, if someone buys for 660k, this coin is going to skyrocket. Okay, so that's very important to understand. It's not always market cap. Market cap is more like a psychological thing for people to look at, in because people right now, they see, oh, it's 86 million market cap, it's a very small market cap, it can go to 860 million, so there is a 10x potential. But there are 2 billion coins not even in circulation, $2 billion. So who has these 2 billion? The project developers, all the community. You need to look at tokenomics to find out who owns and who has this, the rest of this fully diluted valuation. So I would prefer to see it a little bit down, but it's the same with Hex. So Hex has a very high fully diluted valuation because there are so many coins that will never actually hit the market. Okay, so the liquidity is around the same. Okay, so it's important to look always at the liquidity, the volume, liquidity. This is the most important thing on the short term. So where can this go? It's hard to say, because it can do basically everything. Let's say we try to find the next good time to buy. Let's say I see this imbalance close here, plus I see this order block here, so that would be an interesting price to get back in. No financial advice, obviously. We are just here for entertainment purposes only. So we love what we do, so we talk about it. So for me, the next interesting price to start dollar cost averaging or whatsoever is from 48 cents on, all back down to this last imbalance here. So the price can do whatever it wants and you have no control over it. So just put in mind that no matter how deep it comes, it means nothing yet. So it's the beginning of the bull. It's out since the 11th of October, so it's not even a month out there. We had our base here. Let's say this was a technical target that we met. We even pumped further or higher. So for now, it's hard to say where it can go in the short term, but let's say we come down to this place here and would have another pump to the upside. The first target, or one of the potential first targets, would be 134. This plays out once we break these highs here, or this high here. In smaller time frames, you can already look where to find break of structures to the upside and when maybe the potential down move is not coming. So once we break, let's say, this high and this high, you can already, once it broke, start taking, for example, the high and the low of that move and dollar cost average already there. Because once we break these highs here, just try to find an imbalance, or let's say you take your fib out and you try to find the next interesting place to go in. Because once we break this level here, I believe we're gonna go up again. Until then, I would focus on these buy zones here. Don't forget, if you miss a move, there are 20,000 coins out there, and it's better to wait for the next opportunity than getting wrecked. So made huge gains already. Make, in my opinion, could easily do like Gala Sand last Bullrun, if not more. Yes, that's true. That's true. I mean, for me, the biggest narratives, I told it already yesterday, is first of all metaverse and gaming, play to earn, then AI, obviously because of ChatGPT and all that narrative that is running for 6 months now. Plus, yesterday I also said that once people really realize in what they are into and that they are just buying prices and not technologies, they will looking for DeFi again, because DeFi is what made this space flourish, and we start to forget that. So Bitcoin is where it is today because of this, and Bitcoin is not where it is today because it just pumps in price. Okay, so don't forget why crypto was invented. This is what I tell people all the time. Don't just FOMO into prices and into believing your life is going to get better in the next cycle just because you are in the biggest pumps. This is what I believe. Yeah, I went through multiple cycles, always had a big lesson to learn, and this is why I'm telling you this. So yeah, let's see if it can come down here. Once it's down here, I believe it's a good price. It's the first high we made on the open. We come just back, retest it, we have another block, we have an imbalance close. So let's say this whole, let's say, movement here, you cannot really know if people are going to put the price back down to this imbalance. It all depends on what Bitcoin is doing and what the community is projecting in price. So what I learned is, if you have a project and you have a lot of degens and movement and momentum and the narrative in that particular project, you need to listen to other people, what are their targets, and try to find an average price. Let's say, I really don't know what they are projecting for this coin, but people move the price. So what people think is going to happen is most likely at least going to do the average of all that, of all these opinions. Let's say people say we're going to 20 bucks. So let's try to aim for 5-10 bucks, okay? Not 20, not 30, not whatsoever. So you always know or get a glimpse of where a token can go when you listen to people that have big chunks in it. Then second of all, timelines. Timelines are so important. I just realized that this bear market, that timelines are basically the most important thing in crypto for right now, because it always did the same since its existence and never failed to do the same. So people say this time it's going to be different. Let's see. I don't believe that it's going to be different. It always worked to shake out the majority, even if it did exactly the same as 5 years or 4 years before. Changing, in my opinion, right now is one pro and con of this whole ETF thing that's going on, because people are shouting for this ETF but don't realize that banks can short Bitcoin afterwards. So, and that's regulated. So there can be a lot of down pressure coming out of these ETFs. The positive thing about it is Bitcoin would be the first ETF in the history of finance which is scarce. So gold is not scarce because you can find always new mines, you can always mine more gold, okay? So it's somewhere inflationary, not deflationary. I mean, someday there is not going to be any gold anymore on this planet, and that's why they took off the gold standard, because they realized they don't produce or mine enough gold to back it up. So they changed to the petrodollar, and I believe Bitcoin is the first asset in humankind that is actually scarce, plus gets an ETF pretty soon, I believe. So this could be a huge catalyst, because what people, I try to believe that we never saw real money hitting the market. So we always saw degen and retail and some rich people foaming into the market, into these cycles, but real regulation never happened until this bear market. So now people and institutions, banks, central banks, hedge funds, investment funds, all these institutions, even normal companies that want to have some equity on the side and invest the equity they have in their company, can now legitimately buy ETFs and involve themselves into this ecosystem. And if you just look at, for example, the derivative markets, they are worth almost $600 trillion. So there will be some projects of these 20,000 cryptocurrencies that will involve themselves in tokenizing those derivatives and holding the value that is liquid. So for me, it's very interesting to know where is the big money going, because if you go, people often don't realize which who owns basically the money, which identity or which institutions have money as their product. Like Sarah has clothes as products. So I like to think that if you position yourself where the money was created in the first place, this is where the whole liquidity will come in that you wish for. If you only try to protect yourself and you're libertarian and be libertarian, let's say, and you want the banks to collapse, you want this and you want that, eventually it will never happen, because money is created by some identity, and this identity will never let you win over them. So this is what I truly believe, okay? But I can be wrong though. So everyone makes the place in things they understand. I understand that money is created by banks, and the biggest liquidity that will hit the market is coming from banks. So other than small caps, or let's say something that has 500 million but they just have a million in order books, you need to realize that actually a real bubble is that people think something is worth 100 billion when in fact there are 5 million in liquidity, okay? And then in a bear market, prices come back down to the price it should be for what it's worth. So The next bull run is gonna be a bubble again. Prices are gonna get tried to push as high as possible to the day where everything comes back down to its original time space value. So this is where Bitcoin went. It went back down to 15k because at that time Bitcoin wasn't more worth than these 15k per Bitcoin when you look at market cap. Okay, like on the top it was like 1.1 1.2 trillion dollars in market cap, and it came back down to, let's say, 300-400 million, and this 300-400 million actually was the real value of the chain. 1.2 trillion wasn't. And this is something I realized also in the bear market, that it's actually none other than bringing the prices back to what they're supposed to be or what they are in real time. So why did we didn't hold the 20k? We didn't hold the 20k because who was it? Not MoneyGram, Grayscale. Grayscale had discount offers to buy Bitcoin at 13k. So why should a big investor buy Bitcoin on an exchange for, let's say, 20k if they can buy it in an ETF? At that time it wasn't really an ETF, but it is an ETF that they did, just it was all unregulated and all that stuff. So other people in the space that are in since 2019, they made me realize that if the price would really be the bottom at 20k, they wouldn't offer a price at 13k for people to buy in their trust. So that's why Bitcoin came back to 15k. So the difference wasn't that big anymore. I really thought we could see a next flush down to 13k so that the price recalibrates. But I believe the good news that came out this last year made them think that maybe these 13k will not be reached, and they saw investors coming in, don't buying their trust, and then they raised the prices, and we came back into synchronization with the real market, and this is where we started to pump again at 15k. So congrats to everybody that bought Ethereum at 900, that bought Bitcoin at 15k. As I said multiple times, I know it was hard at that time to believe in a crypto rise, but as I said, it's in these times we want to look at the market where everybody is screaming. So what was the next thing? Yes, sir. Much love, broski, and thank you for sharing your view and knowledge. Thank you, man. I appreciate that, man. You're welcome. It says that I have some problems with the connection. Is everything running smoothly, or? And yes, guys, if you're on the stream, if you want to help me, please like and subscribe. It costs you nothing, and I just started yesterday to come back, and we have 2/3 of the Bullrun in front of us, so I will be streaming more often, and let's get that bread together. Because often I know if you cannot read charts, it's sometimes very emotional to stay in a trade or to not sell, or maybe you don't want to buy because of whatsoever. And if you have guidelines, if we have a community, and you ask the right questions, I can give you my point of view on it. So the most important thing is not just thinking for yourself, but actually ask questions, because when you ask the right questions, maybe you get the answer you need. So yes, the trade looks like it wants to close this imbalance. So let's see if we're gonna get stopped out or if we can see a rollover back down. The best thing is at the beginning we risked $1,000. Now currently we are at break even. Okay, so we cannot lose any money on this trade. We can just make money. Okay, so that's great. I had some setups for today, but as it looks like they are not gonna play out for me. A lot of news are hitting the market in the afternoon, so I try to not touch the market during that time, and we are Friday. So tonight the market closes. There are big swaps to pay to not close your trade during the weekend. So I believe if in the next, let's say 2 hours, I don't get my entries, I am out for this week and restart on Monday. So if you want me to do tonight a stream or during the weekend, let me know, write it in the chat, and maybe we will find some opportunity to do that. So what is gold doing? I'm waiting for confirmation in gold because it's so choppy. It did so many moves. Here I got stopped out, break even. This was a very good trade, but yeah, due to the consolidation, that means in sideways markets, it's very hard to hit targets. I wanted to short this here because we had a break of structure. We had these volatile moves during the news, so I knew at that moment in time that this area here was a good area to sell. Okay, so we entered here. We was 1,300 euro in profit, and then it reversed back up, but we had our stops at break even. So what did it do? It stopped us out at 0, or I think it was 10 or 20 bucks in profit, but we got stopped out break even. Our initial reversal point, it should back up. It hold this line, so it's choppiness since then. Here he tried to break out, so this was a false move. All the people that were in this trade got wrecked because it made you believe it has a break of structure to the upside, but in reality it just was a liquidity grab. Okay, so here you had all this liquidity that was interesting for the big guys to sweep. So all these people that went short in this particular didn't got stopped out yet because they made great profit, but there are some people that had like swing positions and they still were in the trade. So the course, let's say the chart here, you can see that they did nothing else than liquidate the longs and liquidate the shorts here. Okay, so this is market manipulation. This is also because of this great gold pump that we had over the last months. Okay, so in the daily you can see that gold had in previous runs why though? So this is what gold looked just before the rise. Okay, and we had this imbalance here. It was our target before gold reverses. So why this point is because once it would have broken this line here, we would have seen a much lower gold price. And due to the war, due to everything that is happening geopolitically, we have all this imbalance here that could be filled. We have order blocks, we have another imbalance, we have an order block, and we have another imbalance. So once you would have broken this low here, the chance would have been big that we come down to then find the bottom and go back to the upside. So this is what gold did, and we were projecting this low here as the bottom of this year cycle, because it started, let's say, in February and March and came all the way back down over the course of the year. So imagine you are an investor and not a trader. You try to buy these, let's say, places here. So imagine over a year you was like, for let's say 1 month you had great profit, but if you didn't took profit in that month you went in, you basically re-lost all your money. So you had like opportunity to accumulate more and more and more. But this is the mindset you need to have, because if you didn't do that, you basically was sitting 1 year at break even, realized, not unrealized, because real money is made when it's realized, not when the profits are on your screen. Okay, so in this case you can see that it never really gave you an opportunity to capitalize on these moves. It never made a retracement. This was a 1 day up and down move to liquidate shorts and longs, then it pumped back, and this was the news. This was a news event. It instantly pumped. You could have done nothing. Either you were in the trade or you could not take it. It was too risky, too volatile. Okay, so then it came a little bit down, and if you look at all these moves prior to this, you expect a correction to come here, but it never came. Okay, it just go up, 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 up. Okay, and then when it started to come back down, there was one place that was interesting to buy it. It was this one. But because you can see, this was my interested imbalance in the market, where I wanted actually these lows and this order block to get swept to then go back to the upside, but it never did it. Okay, it reacted in the first major imbalance, and then as you see, there was nothing you could do. Okay, this is in a daily time frame, so look at this. This was crazy. Okay, what happened there? I can look if I go into the 2 hours. So imagine you are here. Okay, you have all these imbalances that could potentially be closed. So this one got closed completely, so this one is done. Then we had this one. So let's say you take this, your Fibonacci retracement, and you are always, or the majority of the time, looking to enter at 61.8, which is the golden ratio of Fibonacci retracement, plus this imbalance and liquidity sweep. So this is what we wanted to look for. So, and now boom. Okay, so look that. Okay, there was no opportunity to buy this. This was all just luck based. Okay, you could have break this break of structure, but for me, that was, if you look, it was in the New York session they made a new high. So in the evening it came back down, and then in Asia at 12 o'clock, 1 hour before Asia opens, it just pumped heavy. Okay, and then what you see is it came all the way back down. So once we break this low here, we have again a break of structure. Okay, if it would have held here and break this high here, we could have looked back for longs. Let's say it does this, okay, and it comes back here. So we could have waited to have a long entry here, but we have break of structure. Okay, which makes it very difficult, and the market even don't know where it wants to go right now. So it came back down, it closed this imbalance here, and now it's running in a consolidation phase. So we need to wait for clear direction to anticipate the next trade if you don't want to risk your money. Because you risk your money in every trade. In a good trade, in a bad trade, you risk your money. So I want to wait for high quality setups and high conviction. If I get that, I take my next trade. But for now, I'm just waiting for it to play out as it wants to play out. That's all. Just wanted to show you that because, yeah, these type of moments, a lot of people, actually people think often that the most money lost is in the bear market and in a down on an uptrend, but it isn't. The most money lost is in sideways action. Because every pump to the highs or to the lows, you think of a break of structure and a continuation, and it doesn't happen. So a lot of people get caught in fake pumps, fake dumps, fake liquidity sweeps, and get stopped out. And if you do this 10 times in a row, you lost a lot of money. Yesterday I showed this trade. Yesterday I showed this trade on the live stream. You can go back on my stream from yesterday. This was actually at that time of the stream, it was at 9 in the morning. We were here, okay? So during the day when here at 2 o'clock New York opened and it made this choppy move, so the majority of people placed themselves in the beginning of a session, or just before or just after. But I realized that in these cases it's very hard to stay in a trade, okay? It's very, very, very hard. The only trade you could have made here is this imbalance, and the problem with this imbalance is that we didn't had our break of structure yet, so it could have done just this, okay? And you don't want to be caught in such a move, so you need really to wait for confirmation. Otherwise, on a long-term basis, you will not win. You will have 1, 2, 3, 5 lucky shots, but you will not win in the long one, okay? So right now, this hit my TP2 this morning. Unluckily, I had some things to do and I didn't catch the entry, unfortunately. But as you can see, the major move of the day was to liquidate these positions and these positions and these positions, okay? So all these people going short in that areas because we were in a downtrend, the most liquidity was on these weeks, okay? So I told myself, where was yesterday the most traded volume? Yesterday the most traded volume was in this area here, okay? And this is also named an order block. So we had an order block, we had all the imbalances closed because the day before I already traded this, the Euro USD here, and we hit the targets and we made over 2k on this move, okay? So the day after, at the beginning, when it was here, I thought I'm gonna enter here, but the problem was that we didn't saw the break. So I was like, no, we have a break of structure to the downside. But then I saw this move coming, and I was like, okay, we are creating some type of falling wedge, which is a bullish pattern, and I wanted to be cautious trading these levels here and going short like they did here, okay? The majority of people went short on these candles, and we waited because of the open there is a lot of liquidity. Look, it was the biggest volume candle of the day. So this is when the big banks, the central banks, they have a timeline of when they need to provide liquidity to the markets, and it's really a time-based investment or liquidity providing, not an opportunity-based liquidity providing. So the markets and the banks, they need to do it, okay? They need to inject that liquidity. To inject that liquidity, they need sellers. So what happened? They bought liquidity to the downside everyone was going short, okay? Then they took that liquidity to position themselves. They pushed back higher the market. They saw new shorts are entering, and here you see these two volume candles, all the retail went short, 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 short. And this is where they put the next buy in, so that the price stays, let's say, stable when they go into the market. And already here they were done with their day, okay? So for me, this was the next interesting point. So why did I put the stop here at the beginning? It was just over here because of this wick here. There was a big chance we can fill, not everything, but at least fill until here or until here, okay? So this is why I put a big stop. Otherwise the trade would have already hit the target, okay? Sometimes this is what you need to do to stay on the safe side, okay? Some people would say, I don't want to risk, I don't want to put the stop that high, I just don't trade it. Or they put the stop, let's say, over this wick here, and then the market just does this, whoopla, and then goes down, and you are out of the trade, okay? So this is why we do this. So I didn't look at the chat. "2028, 5,000 XRP will make you a millionaire." Maybe, who knows? I would not focus on when 5,000 XRP is gonna make you a millionaire, but more how much XRP can I accumulate until 2028. So maybe you don't need to reach that price you have in mind, waiting coins at the right time in the right moment, so you can capitalize on it. I mean, 5,000 XRP is interesting, just because, but for me to get a millionaire in XRP with 5,000 XRP, we need this mass adoption hitting the market. We need these congresses approving all these things. We need the ODL activated. We need all these things starting to flourish to see that. Okay, I also believe that until 2030, all this stuff is going to be running. The question is, what are you doing until then? So my approach to XRP, for example, in this run is basically just try to catch the time zones. Let's say if in 2000, or let's say until June, the price is not breaking a certain level and it is at $5, I'm gonna sell there, because I know timelines are stronger than price levels, unfortunately. So wherever the price is back then, I will sell. Why? Because I will not take profit when I should have take profit. I always, let's say, lived a great life during the bull run, but I never capitalized on it as I could have, okay? Because I would be in a totally different place right now if I would have done this one thing right, okay? Taking profits. You will never be poor when you take profits, okay? But you eventually will be poor if you don't take profits. You can be a millionaire unrealized, but you can lose everything, okay? So always have a plan. If it goes up, what will I do? Which percentage will I exit at which price because of this and this? So you need to really have a game plan, okay? If you don't have a game plan, your emotions will outperform you, okay? In a negative manner. So yes, this is what I believe. Thanks, man, Nebuchadnezzar, for you said it's a nice Euro USD trade. I mean, we were happy, huh? What is happening with the trade right now? Okay, so we closed the imbalance. we completely close the imbalance, and we should not break these highs here. If we break these highs, we are out of the trade. Okay, so this is how it works. This is the pros and cons of trading. You sometimes can sit there for 3-4 hours and get stopped out, break even, or even lose money. Sometimes you can sit there for 2 hours and make $3,000. So it's a very volatile business. It's a very emotional business, and if you are an emotional person, you need to learn a lot before you can be constantly profit. Could you take a look at level? Yes, I can. I don't know if I have this. I can remember this project. It's on the BSC chain, and I had friends then that joined that at the beginning when it came out. Let's see. Yeah, it is on BSC, I believe. Polynex. Give me a good chart. BitGet. Let's see on PancakeSwap, because I think that's the DeFi chart. Oh yes. Rack season. Oh my god. I saw people making huge money in this pump. I hope they sold. I hope they got rid of these coins. Almost looks as terrible as the hex chart, huh? Crazy. This is easy. Not a lot to say. We are in a downtrend. We have liquidity here. We took this liquidity to 50%, which could be the bottom. I don't know. What I know is once we break this high of 78 cents, you can find a long entry. So the goal is first of all to break this trend line, retest it, pump. Once we break that, you try to find an entry to have the continuation. This is this clear enough? Sorry, I'm eating my clementine. Guys, I'm really happy to be back live again. I missed it. I had a lot of things to do. It was a difficult time, 2022, 2023, so now we are back. We survived and we flourish now. It's time to prosper, guys. Let's fucking go. I'm excited. Maybe in the future I will have back some guests on the stream with which I started this whole journey. But I never really gave him an answer. Yes, but now we are back live, so that's great. Okay, my YouTube says that I have some latency and bitrate connection issues. So if the stream is laggy, I'm sorry. But I work with what I have for now. Next year I will buy a great camera, a lot better mic, and I need a whole new PC. I had a good PC, but it's now 3 years old. I wanted to wait at least 4 years because, I mean, the tech is still working, but I need to upgrade very soon, and I will do this all at the same time. Yesterday I was live on my MacBook, but I prefer doing this on my PC. So that's why I also had mic issues when I started the stream. But yeah, we are not perfect and we try to be better every day. I don't know, guys, if you know about the post-chain ecosystem, but it seems like it bottomed out. It did 6% today. Don't show away from this. Don't judge it because of its last 3 months price action, because these things can reverse very quick and you will be very mad that you were not paying attention. So, any other projects? Let's take a look at XRP again. What did it do in the last few hours? Okay, great. Nice to see. Nice to see. It's a very important level we are at right now, because once we clearly break this 65.5, actually this week becomes less and less relevant. Okay, if we don't manage to break these highs, we could see it dump back down to these lows. Okay, which I don't anticipate, but yeah, this is what it looks like. Okay, so we want the price to break these highs here, because once we break these highs, we actually don't have a lot of resistance coming in, and we have this big liquidity sweep. Okay, and this is what I am expecting. No financial advice, obviously, but yes. Then Solana did 7% today. Degens are active. Let's go. Most centralized smart contract blockchain in the entire space is flourishing like no other. Yeah, this is because people are buying prices and FOMO. For me, this makes no sense. Liquidated their Solana, yet they have 35 million, if not even more now, Solana in their wallets. If they slowly dump it on the market during the bull, it would not affect the price that much. But I always remember that there is a buy the rumor, sell the news event, and I believe that this ETF, Bitcoin ETF, is a buy the rumor, sell the news event. So once they get approved or rejected, you will see the truth in the market. Okay, I hope personally that the prices are just going up, obviously, but there need to be some people that tell you the truth, because if it's your first time in the market and you will see this correction coming, your whole life is going to turn 180% and you are not going to believe in crypto anymore, just because the coins are dumping 30% to 50% very quick. Okay, but this happens all the time in this market. The higher the price goes, the better it is for us when it happens, because if Bitcoin, for example, now managed to break, let's say, even this 48k, and we go to 50k, to 53 whatsoever, the higher we go, let's say the higher our retracement will be. So the next low prices, the higher we go, desto less low it needs to go. Sorry. So we had this big zone here we needed to hold. So now we broke out of it with a lot of momentum and some volume. Okay, so what I'm looking for now is, once it fails to break, or once it has a break of structure to the downside, I believe this is an interesting level for people to buy. Okay, don't buy here. To make what? To make a few percent to the all-time highs? No, you don't want to do that. You don't want to risk as much downside to get a look. For you, maybe if you bought the last 10 years gold and you are happy with a 10% upside, do it. But if you want to capitalize on crypto as you should, you don't buy this now. Okay, you don't buy this now. And if you buy it now, I assume you bought Here you bought, here you bought, here you bought, here you bought, here, 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 you know? If you do that, it's okay to buy here. But if it's now the first time you are getting in and you saw the prices at these levels and you tell yourself, oh, 27k, I think it's gonna go down back to 20k, and you didn't buy it here, don't try to think about buying it here, okay? Because it's gonna hurt one day or another. For example, let's say this break here would be this phase here, okay, and we break and we are here now, okay, let's say we are here. If you don't take profit in the bull run, you are basically break even the whole time, okay, if you don't take profit and you enter here. So all this money, all these emotions, there for nothing, okay. If you would have bought the bear market low, this is a whole different story, okay? So get used to it, and if it's not for this bull run, prepare yourself for the next one, because it's not gonna stop. There are coins and projects that are not going to be there anymore, but I mean in the grand scheme of things, crypto will stay forever, okay? It will not go away. And this is how you need to think about it, because if you think it's the last cycle of crypto, you will degen, you will have FOMO, you will have fear to miss out, okay? And if you realize that Bitcoin has now it's in its 14th year, and it could get another 20 more years of price action, you are actually not stressed out, okay? So don't degen into Bitcoin right now, because the big whales, I can show you this, the big whales are taking profit here not to get into the dollar, but to get into Ethereum and all these other coins, and you can see it in the dominance, okay? Yesterday, look, once we hit the top here, it was the 5th December 2330, and you go here, that was here, okay? Here at the top, the whales or people started to take out Bitcoin and buy altcoins with it. And this is why, because if people would have sold Bitcoin and bought dollars, the dominance would have not crashed that much. Because if they just go from Bitcoin to dollars, this would have stayed the same. But because it goes down and you see altcoins pumping, Ethereum yesterday, it went up from 2,200 to 2,400. XRP is going up, okay? Everything is starting to go back up. Quant, in the same time, Quant goes from 98 to 10, so this was almost 12% in one day. Then this project, if you're interested in gaming, this is a project I'm comfortable to talk about, because I really believe this is a good project. Because I don't believe in crypto games, I believe in crypto gaming development projects and platforms. So I want to know which platform is prevailing and is having success in building the best games that are being used, okay? Don't buy a coin just because they have a potential great game coming. Wait for the right gaming development platform to announce their games. Have your money in these platforms and take a part of your profits and invest them in those games, because games usually tend to fail after 3 years, okay? There are very, very, very few games that have, let's say, that have momentum more than 3 years. There are things like GTA, Counter-Strike, League of Legends. There are, let's say, a handful of games that survive more than 5 years, okay? So don't focus on finding the best game, focus on finding the best gaming engine, okay? And what I like to believe is that Vulkan Forge, now they changed from Ethereum based chain, they created their own layer 1. So I believe, wait, CoinGecko, I need to watch if how much coins, because I really believe there are not a lot of coins. I believe 50k or something, 50 million. So yeah, 50 million. So let's say there are twice, a little bit more than twice as much peer or Vulkan Forge tokens out there to buy than there is Bitcoin to buy. Okay, so this is very interesting. We are at $6 and there are only 23 million tokens to buy right now in circulation. So this is a project I really believe in when it comes to gaming. And then obviously there are a lot, look, the market cap is not even that high. Let's say it reaches a market cap of Avalanche or all these gaming engines and blockchains from the last Bullrun. Let's say it's 100x away from here. Okay, so they basically reach, let's say, $15 billion in market cap. Let's say 1.6 to 15 billion. So it would mean you have a potential alone with market cap, not order books, to get a 10 to 100x in, not, it's a mid cap, it's not a small cap, but it's a mid cap. Okay, so it's very interesting for me, this project. And I'm sure when I start to make Pepe videos, I will get the most views. But I really don't like that idea. So it is how it is. The people that will become rich in Pepe are the people that bought here in the first candle, okay? These people are going to be very rich. If now you buy Pepe and it goes to, let's say, it even makes a 20x, okay? You make a 20x on your money. But look what they did. Oh. So you think you made a lot of money? They made 80%. They made 4 times more than you did. So here is when you should have bought some, and here at the bottom. Now it's okay. We broke structure. We didn't broke these highs yet, so there is potential for the short term to place yourself, obviously. I personally am not a fan of those tokens because it's purely speculation based. So people buy prices and hope that the next one is stupid enough to buy it more expensively. So yeah, I'm not a fan of those tokens. You can make a lot of money very quick, but I am really not a fan of these things because longevity is what is important for me. I want to create wealth for my family and not, yes, going into the casino. This is also a project I really like because it's working together with XRP, R3 and Corda. So I don't know if you know what that is, but basically there are a few projects that gonna be used for liquidity providing cross-chain and stuff from the, let's say, big banks. I mean, all the documents are on the World Economic Forum. You can find everything in their PDFs, in their PowerPoint. So the truth is out there. You need to do your own research. I'm not here to talk about them or to say what they want to do with you, because yeah, that brings negativity into the stream. But you need to be careful. You need to look out for the truth. Otherwise, you will not make it very long here. Okay. Let's see. What is the trade saying? Okay, it's holding. That's a that's good that it is holding. I just see now here week high, week low. So we hope that when it goes up, it holds this box, comes back down to sweep the liquidity and then go further down. If we break these highs, unfortunately, we are out. But it's a great trade. It's a great trade. Let's see. How long are we live now? A little bit too long, eh? But I could do this all day. It's crazy. Let's see. Maybe I stay live a bit now and then I close the live. Maybe I am back tonight, or if I'm not back tonight, I will be back tomorrow at the same time around 11 o'clock. So so you know when to come to the stream. I had the majority of my followers are from the UK and from the United States. So it could be that people are asking me to make the streams on weekends or during the evening so they can tune in because now they are waking up. Now it's 7, it's 18 minutes past 7 um, in America, depending on where they are. So for them, I believe it's better for me to stream in the afternoon. And I also believe that the biggest, let's say, the XRP community, which in the first place I opened this channel to make content for the community, um, they are all based almost in the United States. Here in Luxembourg, personally, I don't really know a lot of people that are appreciating that project because they heard something about it being, I don't know, a banker's coin or something, which at the end doesn't matter, okay? And so I don't know yet if I'm going to have a time window of when I'm streaming every day, if it would be in the afternoon or if I would continue doing it in the morning. So this is something I need to figure out. But yes, I'm very happy to be back. I'm very happy that I took the step to make the first video again. I never stopped trading and looking and analyzing the markets. I just stopped giving my word out because, yeah, in the last bull run top, I told everyone that it's maybe time to sell. And after that, I didn't saw any reason why I should come live every day just to make money uh, by basically you spending your time watching my lives and hearing every day that the next big candle is in front of us. Down candle, obviously, in the beer market. So I just wanted to wait until everything is back in motion. I came back on the stream a few months ago and told you the bottom is in. So I really try to come in the moments where it is very important to come. So But this was also somewhere a fault of myself. I should have been constantly here, but we will try to do that now. So I'm happy when that you were on the stream. I'm happy for the comments. I would appreciate if you can let some thumbs up, some likes, and subscribe, and click the notification bell so you can help me with that. It costs you nothing, and the YouTube algorithm will realize that people are interacting with my content and will help me grow the channel. So maybe, let's say, I will come back later, but it's not sure. What is sure that on the latest tomorrow I will be back, and we will also see if what the trade did, if it was profitable or if we got stopped out. So yes, then I would say have a great day. Stay positive. We are all together. The Bullrun is starting, and we have a great year ahead of us. Let's fucking go.